Hello everyone! I guess you are surprised you are hearing my voice in the intro for a re-upload, but I just want to introduce this. Since we are going back in time, aka Yahaba gets another loyal protector, who we all right now know is Bruno. By the way, this wasn't my idea back then. It was suggested to me by someone under the I Can't Sleep video when it was first coming out. So enjoy KyouHaba getting their doggo. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who subscribe and watch these videos. You're keeping this channel alive and going. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy. Kyotani sighed quietly, gently running his fingers through the soft silver hair of his boyfriend, who was curled in his arms, shaking and crying after another nightmare. The dreams were getting more sporadic in the last weeks, but it almost felt like they were gaining more power over Yahaba. Kyotani wished nothing else than to help Yahaba get rid of those nightmares, of the fear, to finally let him relax and sleep without being scared out of his mind. Every small sob broke his heart to tiny pieces, but all he could do was hold Yahaba and wait, hoping that at least his presence would help. He already asked a few of his teammates for advice on what more he could do, but no one had any experience with a situation like this. For which, on one hand, he was glad. No one deserved to go through what Yahaba did. But on the other hand, it didn't help him with anything. Yahaba shifted a bit in his arms, returning him back into reality. He gently squeezed his hand. Better? Yahaba nodded and straightened up a bit, wiping his eyes. I'm sorry. Don't be. You have nothing to be sorry for. It's not your fault you have those dreams. Yahaba sniffed, turning his teary eyes to Kyotani. Why won't they stop? It's been over 3 months and it still doesn't want to go away. Why? Why can't it leave me alone? Kyotani sighed and pulled him back to his chest, wrapping his arms firmly around his waist. He nuzzled his nose into the silver hair, breathing in the soft scent of Yahaba's shampoo. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I could help you somehow. I would do anything just to chase it all away. A warm, soft hand caressed his cheek. Yahaba looked up at him with those beautiful big eyes he loved from the very first moment they met, now red and puffy from crying. You are doing enough already. You stayed with me the whole time. You never complained about nights like this or about how you have to come to my work to walk me home. Not everyone would walk another 20 minutes there and back after practice like yours just because their partner is scared to go home alone. I can't ask more from you. Yeah, I don't have to come for you to work. I want to. I'm not letting you walk home alone. That's what I mean. You're already doing enough for me. I have to get used to living with it, I guess. He snuggled closer, hiding deeper in Kyotani's arms as if he wanted to hide from the world, which Kyotani would gladly provide. You are the greatest boyfriend I could ask for, you know? Kyotani hummed as if his heart didn't just do a somersault in his chest. I sure hope so, otherwise I'm taking that ring back. Yahaba let out a choked chuckle and hid his left hand under him, out of Kyotani's reach. Well, I'm not giving it back anytime soon. You will have to pry it from my cold hands to get it. Then thank goodness that I don't want it back. I'll even give you a second one soon, if you want. Yahaba furrowed his brow and looked up again. Are you asking what I think you are? Kyotani shrugged, feeling his cheeks flaring up. Maybe. Would you say yes if I asked? Yahaba smacked his shoulder lightly before making himself more comfortable in the hug. Seriously? After all I just said, you think I could say no? But why did you bring that up now? So you have something else to dream about. You can plan the wedding in your head now. Or just imagine it if you want. Yahaba gave him a soft, grateful smile. Gladly. Do you have practice tomorrow? Oh, I'll just have to go shopping, otherwise we will starve here. Do you want to go with me? Yahaba stilled, and Gyotani tightened his arms around him reassuringly. Yahaba wasn't going out much except for his workplace and back, only sporadically accompanying Gyotani when he went to the store down the street. You don't have to, only if you feel like it. I will. I have to push myself a bit. Gyotani pressed a soft kiss into his hair. Alright. I'm proud of you, you know? Do you think you can fall asleep again? Will you be here? Of course. I'm not going anywhere. 2 days later, Gyotani found himself staring at the text on his laptop screen, checking if he wrote everything correctly. It was of utmost importance he wrote every detail, so he could find exactly what he was looking for. Are you trying to burn a hole through the screen or something? He startled, only now noticing Yahaba standing in front of him, handing him a cup of tea. What are you looking for anyway? Gyotani nodded in thanks and took the cup, but closed the screen before Yahaba could see it. That's a secret for now. Yahaba pouted, and Gyotani had to smile. Not many things changed from high school, and Yahaba's expressions were no exception. He still had that adorable pout Gyotani liked to draw out from him from time to time. Alright then, keep your secrets. Gyotani snorted a short laugh and reached out his arms to him as a silent invitation. Yahaba smiled softly and settled on his lap, scratching lightly Gyotani's short hair. Don't you quote Lord of the Rings on me now. It will be a surprise. You'll see soon. Hopefully. A nice surprise? I think. It's nothing horrible or scary, I promise. I think you'll like it. Yahaba raised his eyebrow but didn't comment on it further, and instead stole a few cookies from Gyotani's plate. That was mine. Yahaba smirked and tapped on the ring around his finger. Ours. We aren't married yet. But I have a promise we will, so now's as good time as ever to start getting used to it. Gyotani sighed and rolled his eyes. Yahaba was taking advantage of the fact Gyotani wasn't able to say no to him for as long as they were together. Not that Gyotani complained. And seeing the happy smile making its way back on Yahaba's face, he would gladly sacrifice more than just a few cookies to preserve moments like this. He just hoped the surprise he was trying to make happen would be so pleasant for Yahaba as he imagined it. It was actually Iwaizumi who came up with the idea to get a dog. Gyotani turned to the old Seijo group chat for advice a few days ago, when he was at the end of his wits about the whole situation, with Yahaba being scared just to be home alone. He didn't expect much from it, but he was getting desperate. And desperate times called for desperate measures. But in the end, he was glad he decided to ask his former senpais for help. He should have done it much earlier, or just call Iwaizumi straight away. The former ace was still recovering, but his head apparently didn't suffer any damage, which was a gift from God, in more than one way. And so now Kyotane was on his way to meet a woman who answered his ad for a dog to help Yahaba feel safer, and also through his occasional anxiety attacks. She actually lived not far from Yahaba's workplace, which was an ideal situation, and Kyotane had to thank all gods above for finally having some good news for him. He took a deep breath before pressing the doorbell. Please be what I'm looking for. That would be awesome. He had to smile when a young German shepherd ran out of the door with the ringing, followed by two larger dogs and the owner. Hello, you are here because of Bruno, right? Hello. Yes, I called yesterday. Great, come on in. Don't worry, they don't bite. Kyotane smiled and let the dog sniff his hands, scratching the older puppy behind his raised ear. Hey buddy, you are even prettier than in the pictures. The puppy, Bruno, huffed happily and the woman laughed. I see you won't have any problem with getting used to each other. Come in, we can discuss everything inside. Kyotane followed her inside a nice family house, all three dogs wiggling around his legs, asking for pets. He rejoiced inwardly. This looks even better than what I hoped for. He stood in front of the local gym where Yahaba should finish his practice with a group of kids anytime soon, an excited-looking puppy on the leash sitting by his leg. Earlier, he took Bruno to the nearby park to let out some steam and to let them get to know each other better. They agreed with the still owner to let the puppy slowly get used to both him and Yahaba and the new home he could potentially go into. It was for the sake of both the dog and Yahaba. The last thing Kyotane wanted was to bring home a dog, only to find out Yahaba would get even more scared. They talked about the possibility of getting a dog, but never about what breed they would get. And where Kyotane was used to big dogs, having several of them when he was growing up, Yahaba never owned a pet before. But bigger dogs were great to snuggle to, and the feeling of safety was also better, and so Kyotane decided to go with a German Shepherd, a breed he had the most experience with. He just hoped Yahaba would see it the same. He checked the time and squatted to the puppy, petting his chest and neck, earning a happy huff. Alright, buddy. Now you have to be nice, okay? Your new potential owner is going through some tough stuff right now, and we both have to help him through it, okay? So nice and steady. We don't want to scare him even more. Bruno huffed and wiggled his tail like he understood every word. Kyotane chuckled. He couldn't understand how a dog like this could stay without any offers for a new home, but it was good news for them in the end. That's what I like to hear. Now come on, let's meet Shigeru. Ken? Ah, speaking of. He got up and flashed Yahaba a smile. Hey love, how was your day? Yahaba blinked, obviously confused. Good, thank you. Who do you have with you? That's Bruno. Oh, okay. Kyotane loosened the leash from his hand, letting the puppy excitedly trot to Yahaba. He could start living with us in a few days if you aren't against it. Yahaba's eyes widened a bit, his lips parting. He let Bruno sniff his hand and hesitantly scratched him behind the ear. You got us a dog? Partially. He is not ours yet. This is supposed to be a sort of getting used to exercise, so it wouldn't be such a shock when he would potentially move in with us. He gently squeezed Yahaba's hand, running his thumb over the soft skin. I thought you might feel safer at home and even outside if we have a dog. And his owner said he's very snuggly, so that would be a plus. He's a bit older puppy, but it shouldn't be a problem for him to get used to us as his owners. and he would protect you when I'm away. So, what do you think? Yahaba opened and closed his mouth without a word coming out. Yotane startled when he noticed the tears building in the corners of his eyes, but before he could say anything, Yahaba threw himself around him and buried his face into the crook of his neck. Shige? Thank you. I don't know what to say. Yotane let out a relieved sigh and hugged him back, drawing small circles into his side. I'm glad you agree. I was worried you might be a bit intimidated by having a large joke. It's fine. You can teach me, right? Of course. The puppy next to him huffed quietly and nudged their thighs with his nose in an attempt to sneak between them. Yotane chuckled, a pleasant warmth spreading through his chest when he saw the happy smile back on Yahaba's face as he patted Bruno's head. What do you say we go to the park on a short walk? Yahaba kissed his cheek. I would love that.